Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back. I'm back with a brand new series. What if Deku had a phoenix, Quirk? And this got suggested a bunch of times by one person. The comment should be up on the screen right now. And yeah, so shout out to that person for putting it. I know it's a little different than what they were suggesting, but when I say I literally get all the what if ideas from the comment section, I'm really not kidding. There's very few what ifs that I do that aren't suggested ones, because I mean the idea behind this whole community is, I'm making videos for you, all y'all, right? So why wouldn't I just use suggested ideas? But yeah, and also I realized, and I got commented this a bunch of times, someone else is also doing this what if currently, and boys, completely fine. There's no reason for me to wait on it and any of that. If it pulls from my viewership, it pulls from my viewership. I really don't mind. But like most of y'all know, and y'all been around, the stories are way different. I haven't watched their story at all, but I can probably guarantee you that it's gonna be a lot different than my story. So yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time, and we're gonna get right to the what if. Let's get it. Growing up in a world with insanely powerful quirks, you really do need something very unique to stand out. And I just didn't have that. Or at least that's what I thought. When my mother took me to the doctor told me my quirk was simple heat control, but he told me that I would never be able to produce more than a simple campfire. Being a little kid, I was devastated. And my mom would always tell me that I could still be a hero, and she's the reason why I'm where I am currently. And this is my story of how me, Izuku Midoriya, became the hero known as the Phoenix King. At the age of 6, Izuku Midoriya never really showed signs of an extremely powerful quirk. Just like the doctor said, he trained and trained so hard, but nothing but his physical capabilities were the only things getting better. But his quirk wasn't developing, at least developing beyond what the doctor once said. He began getting bullied by Bakugo, who he called Kachan. His best friend bullied him, telling him to quit trying. I can do it, Kachan, I know I can. Just give up, Deku. Bakugo walked away, but Midoriya didn't realize that in his own way, Bakugo was worried about him. That he didn't want his childhood friend to go unprepared into battle, trying to save someone, and die. When they were both 4, he would try to convince Izuku to just be a chef or something of that manner, maybe even a police officer, but Midoriya, stubborn as ever, refused. The older Midoriya got, the worse his mentality went. He started realizing that it was useless, that he wouldn't be able to be a hero. He kept training until he was about 15 years old, and it was finally the last day of middle school. But at that point, he was doing so training to just please his mother, because she still had so much belief in him that he felt horrible just to give up. The teacher on the last day then begins to speak about giving career aptitude tests. But he knows they all want to go the hero route, and he throws the papers in the air. They all use their quirks in excitement, except for, Bakugo and Midoriya. Yes, and our very own Bakugo is going to try for the UA entrance exam. Bakugo stands on his desk and chants that he will get in, and he'll be the first from this crappy school to do so. Bakugo sits down and is actually shocked to hear that Midoriya didn't even apply. Of course, this is what Bakugo wanted, but he was still worried about his old friend, and in a way, seeing him give up like that hurt him. The class is dismissed and Midoriya leaves faster than everyone. He just leaves as quick as possible. He walks home the long way and just thinks about what he should do. I just don't understand. My whole class has quirks that can help them, but me, I'm basically just a glorified bonfire. He walks under a bridge and begins sobbing until he hears something behind him bust through the sewer. I didn't know he was here. I need your body, kid. The sludge villain comes charging at Midoriya, so he pulls a can of axe spray out of his backpack, making a makeshift flamethrower using his quirk. He sprays it at the villain, slowing the villain down a lot, until he hears another thing coming from the sewer. All Might comes out of the sewer.
No need to fear, because I am here.
All Might smashes the villain, but realizes that the villain already took significant damage from this kid. All Might cleans up the villain with Midoriya.
Thank you for the help. What's your name, young man?
Oh, I'm Azuku Midoriya, All Might.
Well, you did great, but I must leave now.
Midoriya, remembering what he wants to talk with him about, basically grabs onto All Might's leg as All Might is basically jumping through the air. All Might tells him to get off, but Midoriya refuses, saying if he falls from this height, he'll die. He sighs, and then they land on top of a building, and All Might goes back to his normal form. Huh? You're not All Might. All Might then explains that he is, but got an injury, and can only stay in his buff form for a certain amount of time. Midoriya finally understands, and All Might asks him what does he want to talk about. Do you think I can be a hero, even if my quirk is weak? Midoriya shows that he can only make a small little weak flame, and that his doctor said that his quirk would never be stronger than a measly campfire.
Whoa, kid. I think you can be a hero. With the proper training and work, anyone can.
Midoriya begins to cry.
No need to cry, young Midoriya. Sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith.
Midoriya's eyes grow wide, and he begins to remember something that he dreamed when he was younger. Years ago, he heard the same words in a dream. Something told him that taking a leap of faith will determine his heroics. When he was younger, he didn't think much of it because who would? But now, he felt like everything was clicking. Midoriya thanks All Might and goes sprinting toward the edge of the building. All Might tries to stop him, but Midoriya jumps.
No, what are you doing?
All Might tries to transform back into his buff form to save him, but can't. He looks down and watches as Midoriya is about to hit the ground. Midoriya falls with a smile on his face. His eyes then grow red, and he turns into a phoenix, flying back up to the building and landing in front of All Might, turning back into his human form as ash falls from his body. I did it. My quirk, it's... All Might cuts him off, saying that was reckless. What he did, I mean, yeah, he said to take a leap of faith, but he didn't mean literally. I'm sorry, All Might, but something just told me it would work. All Might smiles, seeing a lot of the boy's optimism as a younger version of him.
Well, kid, are you going to UA?
I didn't even apply. All Might smiles and tells him that he will get him in on his recommendation, and he will see to it himself to train him personally. Midoriya's eyes grow wide, and he thanks All Might.
Well, kid, we have about 10-ish months before you start school, so we would train at Dagobah Beach.
Midoriya agrees, and All Might tells him to meet him there tomorrow. All Might leaves with the sludge villain, and Midoriya heads back home, telling his mother what happened. Obviously, though, changing the story a bit so she doesn't, know about All Might's injury and, how he kind of jumped off a building. She is extremely happy for him, and Midoriya's optimism on being a hero is just like how it was when he was a little kid training. The next day, he meets All Might at a litter-filled beach. All Might explains that he wants him to train his body first, and then they will train his quirk. Sounds good, All Might, but who's that? A girl from behind All Might waves hi to Midoriya, and All Might explains that this is a daughter of one of the teachers at UA, and he wanted, well, him to train her as well. Oh, awesome, so she's a daughter of a pro hero? That's so cool. All Might explains that she is a little shy, but her father has told her what she needs to work on, so while Midoriya is training by cleaning, well, he will be training her. Midoriya nods and starts cleaning the beach. After about 3 months, he's finished. Due to his experience with training already, he had a better foundation to start with, and Midoriya ends up learning that the girl's name is Akari Aizawa, the daughter of Eraserhead himself. He definitely nerds out a bit, but then realizes that she is kinda scared from his mumbling, so he stops and apologizes. For the next 7 months, they actually train together and they begin to be more comfortable, and the once shy girl isn't as shy anymore, at least not around him, and she doesn't get scared at simple things as much. All Might explains that getting her to stop being shy was part of the reason why he was training with her, but also for her to practice using a replica of Aizawa's scarf that he taught her how to use, but she just needs some practice. Midoriya, throughout the period of 7 months that he was training his quirk, he began to learn how to basically use greater firepower, and he also learned how to summon wings, but not a full-fledged phoenix quite yet. He also found that he was a lot stronger in physical strength on top of just his training while cleaning the beach. It was as if since the day he jumped off the roof into his phoenix form, he was like twice as strong as before.
Well, you two, great job. I am proud of both of you. You have come a long way. Young Aizawa, please head home. But for you, young Midoriya, I would like to speak with you.
Okay, All Might, and Izuku, bye. Akari leaves, and All Might begins talking to Midoriya.
So, young Midoriya, I want to explain something very important to you.
What is it, All Might? All Might then explains that his quirk is called One for All, and that he would like to pass his quirk on to Midoriya. Midoriya begins freaking out, asking tons of questions and saying that there must be a better person for this quirk.
No, young Midoriya, I know you are a worthy successor, and if you choose to accept, I want to pass my power on to you.
Midoriya smiles and remembers to when he thought he had no chance of being a hero, and now the #1 hero is offering his quirk to him. Midoriya agrees to accepting All Might's quirk, and All Might pulls a piece of his hair out.
Eat this!
Midoriya looks in shock. Why do I want to eat your hair, All Might? All Might explains that he needs to eat some of his DNA to transfer the quirk, and Midoriya reluctantly eats the hair. All Might then tells Midoriya to basically not tell anyone about this, and to head home and get some rest because the first day of UA is tomorrow. Midoriya agrees and goes home, sleeping through the night until the next day. He tells his mom goodbye, and she tells him how proud she is and that she knew that he could do it, and he leaves to UA with a smile. When he arrives, he sees Akari waiting outside the 1A door. Hey, Akari, you scared to go in? She tries to play it off like she isn't scared and that she was just waiting for Midoriya, but he basically tells her not to worry and they'll walk in together. They walk in and Bakugo and Ida are seemingly screaming at each other. You okay, Akari? She nods, saying yes, and they both just go and sit down. Bakugo realizes that Midoriya is here and is about to confront him until the teachers walk in.
Listen up, you problem children. I need all of you to stand up and introduce your name. And Quirk, wake me up when you're done.
Everyone does so, and Akari introduces herself as, well, Akari Aizawa, and says her quirk is Erasure. Midoriya is then up next, and he introduces himself. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and my quirk is Phoenix Force. The class starts asking questions, but Bakugo is kinda in shock, remembering his original quirk. Okay, Sensei, we're done. Okay, problem children. My name is Shota Aizawa, and I will be your teacher for the next 3 years. And before you ask, yes, Akari is my daughter. The class is mostly shocked, but he tells them to be quiet and just meet him outside for a quirk assessment. They all do so and meet him outside. Listen up. I will have all of you go through various tests to see how far you are in terms of your quirks. Now Bakugo, you got first in the entrance exam, so you go first. Aizawa throws him a ball, and Bakugo is basically told to throw it as far as possible using his quirk. He does so, and as he does, he screams "die," throwing it. Good job, 700 meters. Beat that, you damn extras. Aizawa then calls up Midoriya. Good to see you again, problem child. Now throw the ball. You got it, Sensei. Midoriya winds back to throw and begins to think that maybe he should try to use One for All on top of his powers. He activates it, not realizing that he's about to use 100%, throwing the ball so hard that it breaks his arm. 10,000 meters. Good job. But that arm doesn't look good. Midoriya grabs his broken arm with his other hand, and fire begins to engulf it. Ashes begin to appear, and when they go away, his arm seems to be good as new. Midoriya has known about this power, but hasn't really used it very much because he hasn't gotten hurt. Midoriya, though, realizes that his arm feels stronger after breaking it. And he realizes that when he breaks something and heals it himself, he must get stronger. And that must explain when he turned into a phoenix and came back into a human, it was as if he broke his whole body. Or maybe died and came back? He begins realizing that's a thought for another day. Wow, kid. Impressive healing. But try not to break your bones. Out of nowhere, screaming can be heard. You damn nerd! Tell me how you did that! Aizawa grabs an enraged Bakugo with his scarf and tells him not to do that again or he will be expelled. You know what? Because of that outburst, whoever gets last will be expelled. Midoriya lines back up, and the rest of the test goes on, eventually leading to him getting first, and Bakugo getting second, and Akari getting somewhere in between, like in the top 10-ish. And the last place is Mineta, and Aizawa tells him to go to the office. He does so, and the rest of the class looks on in shock, but then they are all dismissed. Midoriya begins walking, but is grabbed by Bakugo. Tell me how you did that, you damn nerd. I trained, Kachan, and I had a lot of help. Maybe I would feel more implied to tell you about what happened if you weren't such an asshole to me all the time. Midoriya breaks free and walks away, but Bakugo tries to blast him, but his quirk stops working and is grabbed by a scarf. Midoriya turns to see Akari with her quirk activated. He smiles and she lets go of Bakugo and she walks with Midoriya outside of the school. He thanks her for the save and tells her that he owes her one. They leave, and the next day when they arrive in class, Aizawa tells them the plans. Today you all have another teacher teaching you all, and he should be here about now. All Might comes busting through the door.
I am here, walking through the door like a normal person.
All Might tells everyone to get on their hero outfits and meet him at Ground Gamma. Midoriya is mostly wearing heat-resistant clothing with an open-sleeved jacket with a logo of a phoenix on the back, and he's rocking his normal green color scheme with, a little bit of red within that. He arrives to see Akari, and her outfit is a lot like her father's, and he compliments her. All Might greets everyone and explains their plan.
Okay class, today we will be doing 1 versus 1 battles. I want to see how far all of you have gotten with your quirks before we begin real training.
Everyone nods and All Might announces the matchups.
The first matchup will be Midoriya versus Todoroki.
Midoriya walks with Todoroki onto Ground Gamma, and All Might counts them down.
3, 2, 1, go.
And that's a wrap for this episode, or this part. If y'all enjoyed part 1 of What If Deku Had a Phoenix Quirk, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also comment down below any suggestions for future what ifs. I'll say this a million times. I literally if I see a what if idea that I like, I'll most likely do it. Like, there's a good chance I'll end up doing it. I normally literally screenshot them. I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. I normally screenshot them and I have them in my computer for later to make sure, like, okay, I want to do this what if, let me screenshot it, and I have a folder for it. So but yeah, like I said, if y'all enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below any future suggestions. And yeah, that's about it, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day, and thank you for all the support. Later.